In this video, we're going to show you how you can use ClaimWizard to cut some corners to send emails to your prospects, your clients, your vendors, the carriers, and even your law firms. Any contact you have in ClaimWizard that has an email address has the ability to automatically configure an email for you. Now to do that, I'm going to go into a client record. Just so that you understand, ClaimWizard is not an ESP, an email service provider. We are still reliant on whatever email platform and server that you use to send and receive your emails. ClaimWizard can only partially format some of those emails for you and put in some relevant information, as well as archive them if you send emails into the specific unique claim email address. So the way that I want to show you how to do this is that when you click on an email address inside of your web browser controls what email program gets executed. ClaimWizard can't handle that. It's one of those things that once we hit up against that wall of the web browser, we have to hand it over to your web browser and your computer local operating system to handle that request. So for example, if I click on this email address here, it's not a particular person, it's just the claim itself. It will open up a blank email for me and copy it back to itself. Now I use a Macintosh with Microsoft Outlook as my primary, and my primary email address is set to my work address. I have multiple addresses in here, but whatever Outlook says is my primary email address is what this will be every single time. If you have secondary or personal email addresses that are set as your primary in your mail program, that is what ClaimWizard is going to attempt to send it as, because that's what your local operating system thinks is your primary. As you can see here, there is no information in the subject line or anything else. All this is that you can write a general note to put back into the system. If I send this, all it's going to do is send a copy of itself back into the claim. It does take a few minutes to actually archive that email into the claim itself, and you will see that show up in the activity log and message archive, because again, we're not an email service provider. It's not an instant or near instant thing. It still has to go through our algorithms and through our servers to get filed correctly into the claim. Now, if you would like to send information to, say, maybe your policyholder, you can show your client information. And on the side, it's going to toggle a bar that opens. And here you can see is one of your policyholders' information. Of course, this isn't a real email address, but if I click on it, it's going to open up in my email address, right? In my email program. It's going to CC to itself. It's going to send to your client, and it's going to send a general note. Because in this context, we're only talking about the client. They could have multiple properties, multiple claims on a multiple property. We have no way of understanding which property and claim you're interested in talking about. So in that capacity, if you're talking about the actual claim or information, you would want to maybe copy the claim number or policy number or whatever you're interested in when you're having that communication with your client. But it will CC itself back into ClaimWizard and wind up in the activity log and message archive. Now, of course, one of the more frequent ways to email somebody out of a claim is to have claim-specific information involved. Here, we're going to open Insured and Policy, and we're going to say, okay, this is the insurance company, this particular policy, everything is here, and we're talking their email address that they want. You can click on that, and it will address the email to the appropriate party, copy itself back into itself, and publish the claim number that the carrier has given you. Then you can then type whatever email you want, send it, and in a few minutes, it will wind up in the activity log and message archive. The same goes through for company personnel. If you go up here and you click on anyone's email address or external email address, here you can email a vendor, a restoration vendor that you're working with, and email them, and it will automatically copy itself back into the claim, put a primary copy to this email address, and attach the claim number to that email. At this time, it's not possible to pull files from your files section, put them in an email through a web browser, and pass them to your operating system. It's generally considered a security risk, so as developers, we're not at this time permitted to do that. Once those emails are successfully received and filed into a claim, you will see them show up in your activity log and message archive. And if you click the envelope, you will see them here. You can see these are the two that I just recently sent and the information included in them. I don't have any file attachments on them, but if there were, they would be here as well. So they are here, so anyone on your team can see them and view them. But if you notice, they are up top. This email indicator, or this message indicator, just says that we have one email waiting to be reviewed. So we're going to click there, and you can see I have one on purpose that I keep for training purposes stuck in moderation so you can see what it looks like. But if you'd like to see all correctly archived emails in your system, you can click on Received and it will show you the information. Here's the subject, there's who sent it, etc. Date received and which claim it was saved to. If you click on this, it will open a copy of it up in your browser so that you can view it. Again, if you need to export any of these, you can choose to print it and save it as a PDF. So that is a printable copy of that email. If you choose download, it will give you a zip file that contains the .eml files, which are the actual email packets that get sent back and forth between Gmail and Yahoo and Exchange and all of the other hundreds of email programs that are out there.